Hello people, welcome to Crack the Sky. Let's crack on through our top 5's ASX Exchange Traded Funds where we have our overview. And the day is the 29th of the 3rd, 2019. Today's spotlight is GDX on the ASX. It's VanEck's Vectors Gold Miners ETF. Hang around to the end or feel free to skip straight through all the top 5s to have a look at what I think about this ETF. Anyway, moving on. So our overview today, we closed out at 0.08% up at 62.61 on the All Ordinaries. Information tech, healthcare, communication service, materials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples all up, the rest down. Commodities as a whole down, gold down, silver down, platinum down, roughly 2%. Crude oil up marginally. Moving to our top 5 percentage rises today. CETF, QR, CNEW, IJH and QFN. So CTF was our VanEck's China AMCI, CSI 300 ETF. QR is our ETF's S&P Biotech. China New is the new economy in the China market. Then we had IJH, and IJH is the iShares S&P Mid-Cap 400. So if you want those mid-cap stocks on the S&P, that's the way to go. One of the options anyway. QFN, that is the B shares S&P ASX financial sector. So if you're chasing banks and other financial related companies, that's one to look at. So China up. And there's also some banking sector up and people looking at mid-caps in America. So first up we had our physical platinum palladium from ETF. And then we had MNRS, which is the B shares global gold miners ETF. GDX, which is the VanEck Vectors gold miners ETF. So very similar to MNRS. And we had our physical silver ETF issued by and then we had QUA on the downside as well. QUA is the B shares gold bullion. So overall, on the downside today, the metals got a thumping. If there was anything to do with metals, whereas metals miners, metals is down. Our physical platinum ETF is down 5.6%, actually on reasonable volume for that ETF. Moving on, our top $5 rises, which should be similar to the top 5 percentage rises. We'll see. This looks like there's some familiar faces. We had SPY, we had IJH, IVV, IHV, VTS. My God, this is very American focused right now with our top $5. So SPY is the State Spider S&P 500 ETF. As mentioned before, IJH is the iShares S&P Midcap 400 ETF. Then we had IVV, which is the iShares S&P 500 ETF, one of the bigger S&P 500 ETFs on the market. Then we had IHVV, which is the hedged variant of the previous ETF. Then we had VTS, which is the Vanguard US Total Market Index. So all America focused. So things are going well in America. People are jumping on the bandwagon. Top $5 falls. I think we're going to see metals dominate here again, as in the top percentage falls. No surprises here. Our physical platinum, our physical palladium, GDX was our VanEck Vectors Gold Miners ETF, VD RDV is our Russell High Dividend Australian Share ETF. That's a mouthful. ETP MAG is our physical silver ETF. So, yeah, reasonable volume for the first two, and the rest was sort of, low volume for the first two, I should say. But yeah, still down a bit, so people were trying to get out. A few people trying to get out anyway. Top 5 number of trades. We saw today VAS, IVV, VGS, VAP, IAF. So as most of us know, VAS is the Vanguard Australia Share Index. IVV, as mentioned before, is the iShares S&P 500 ETF. VGS is the Vanguard MSCI Index International Share ETF, which is another mouthful. Then we had VAP, which is the Australian Property Securities Index. That's a good one for a yield if you're chasing some yield. Then you had IAF, which is the iShares Core Composite Bond ETF. That fund invests primarily in government-grade fixed income securities. Trade-wise, VAS was high, but I've seen it higher, and the rest are a little bit standard. Moving on. So we're looking at our top 5 for volume. STW, AAA, VGS, MVW, QUA. STW is the State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 fund. AAA is our Beta Shares Australia High Interest Cash ETF. VGS, as mentioned before, is a Vanguard MSCI International Index Shares ETF. MVW is the VanEck Vectors Australia Property ETF. Looking for some exposure to property, that one might be interesting to look at. We've already had a look at that one in depth previously. QUA. So QUA is the Beta Shares Gold Bullion ETF, and that is backed by physical gold bullion held in the National Bank of Canada. Volume wise, we saw a lot of trades go through for STW, so expect that to be a major focus, or the biggest in value anyway. Moving on. Top 5 for value. STW, no surprises there, $17 million traded today. AAA, which is one of our favourites, keeps coming up here in the top 5s. $10.8 million. VGS, $8 million traded today. VHY, just under $5 million. VGB, just under $4 million at $3.6 million. The only one here today, which is out of kilter, it's a new one I had to do some research on, which is the Vanguard Australia Government Bond Index. So this is an index managed strategy behind this ETF, as designed to track the returns of the Bloomberg Australian Government Bond. So greater than 1 year index. So our spotlight today's on GDX on the ASX. That's VanEck Vectors Gold Miners ETF. So this ETF seeks to replicate as close as possible, before all the fees and expenses, blah, 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 the price and yield performance of the New York Stock Exchange Arca Gold Miners Index. And there's the code for the index if you want to look at that index closer. So the index is intended to track the overall performance of the companies involved in gold mining industry. So the index is a modified market capitalization weighted index. and provides exposure to publicly traded worldwide gold companies. Pretty much you've got a blend of small, medium and large capitalized stocks in this one. Moving on. So our net asset value is 31.87. Trading today below the net asset value at 31.67, so 20 cents off. Management costs aren't too bad at 0.53%. Yearly distribution, this one in January, dividend yield is rubbish at 0.57%. I think this is quite possibly one of the better ways to invest in the gold story. I'm not a huge fan of buying metals, ETFs. I suppose I like the story behind the companies as well. So, I mean, even buying this ETF, you still get the hedge against downside risk in the overall economy, if that's what you're looking for. But also with this ETF, you get some upside potential if the company's going well. So if there's a major discovery in one of those companies, you should see a bump in the share price of the ETF. Other alternatives you may want to look at MNRS. There's a few other ones on the exchange as well. So dig into it. If this is you're a gold bug, that's what you're chasing. Have a close look at this one and dig into the rest of them. Yeah. Moving on. Have a quick look at the chart, what's in this. I thought this would be interesting just to show you guys the top 10. So it's composed of 45 companies. So your top 10, the usual suspects at the big end of town for gold mining. So Barrick Gold, Newmont Mining, Franco-Nevada, Newcrest Mining, Wheaton Precious Metals Corporation, Ignacio Anglin Mines, that's a bit of a tongue twister, never heard of that one. We have Kirkland Lakes, Gold Corp, Anglo Gold Ashanti, and then Royal Gold. So the index is heavily weighted towards Canadian companies. Then we have Australia second, United States, then South Africa, Peru, and China. So everything we show here is education. We want to crack your financial sky by motivation and giving you guys a little bit of a spur on to do your own research. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. So give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe. Trying to crack through these things really much quicker now than normal. A bit more energy. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Leave a comment if there's anything you want me to look at. I can go into depth further in other videos on different topics as well. Ciao.